Yeah. Okay, so whenever you're ready.
Hi guys, welcome to Unplugged.
Ayo.
Darren G
And the Jovan. And actually,
hey.
before doing anything else, I have to do a screen share with you guys because of how relevant this is. Can you see my screen?
Mhm.
So I just found this tweet today. If you have "the" in your name, I'm coming for you. I need answers. I just thought that was weirdly relevant because Darren, you and I both have "thes" at the beginning of our names.
Ooh, roll up. I'll show you where. Like, tell
Dion
Dion,
Warwick.
roll up.
Yeah.
Pull up, Dion. What
Pull
do you
up.
need? What coming for me? Okay, cool, boo.
All
Check the
right.
location. Check the location. Pin
We'll make it happen. But anyway, so back to our regular scheduled situation here. We have another
me.
guest. Yes, and it's I guess becoming a pattern where we have a guest, then we don't have a guest, then we have a guest, then we don't have a guest. But today's guest, um, well, I guess I'll let you introduce yourself however you want.
I'm Eric Genola, and I'm just a dude, you know. I'm just a guy.
Nice, nice.
Hey,
That's a very
my
humble
intro.
introduction. Yeah.
same.
Same. Yeah. Same. Yeah.
Loves
We
it.
call this podcast Three Guys. Yeah. But
True.
nice. Well, I guess the only difference is there's no "the" in front of Eric. So yeah, it's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So a fun tradition on this podcast thus far is talking about our locations. And I guess I'll start with my fun little journey. As you can see behind me, I'm sitting on a rooftop in my cozy green sweater that I've had for the past 3 episodes, and I'm in the jolly country of Estonia. Where that is geographically, I couldn't exactly tell you because I'm still a fugitive from Russia. I'm still on the run, but it's a gorgeous place, and I'm just continuing my wayward west and hoping to find some water and then just find my way back to Canada. But until then, I'm just going with the flow, baby.
All right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
From the barn to finding
That's
some water. All right. Love
that's
it.
right. That's right. And what about you? Where are you right now?
I'm in the studio. I'm in
You're
the
in the
music
studio?
studio.
Okay, nice. Yeah. You went to the other
I'm in
room.
the
Nice.
studio. Yeah.
Very good.
I could easily go into the studio, but I was like, let me just go in the music studio today. Why not?
Yeah, nice.
So,
I don't know if I've ever asked you this, but do you play?
you know what? I used to play the violin for I think 6 or 7
What?
years, but I don't play the guitar. No.
Still, that's
Like I played the violin
arguably a more impressive instrument.
grade 3 to grade 8 basically. But
Wow. Do you think you still could if you were to pick it up?
yeah, I probably could. And like I know like how to read music and stuff like this. And
Man, I played the saxophone back in high school, but I don't really know how to read music. It's like I just memorized it at the time, and now I completely forget. It's unfortunate.
so it's interesting because like I mean I'm sure if you it's like a bike. It's like if you haven't
Right,
rid it
sure.
once, you don't really know how, and you ride again. Okay, cool. And then they say that if you were to like never ride it, but no matter what, you should know how to ride it again.
Right. It's not in my RAM, but it's in my hard drive somewhere. I just
Yeah.
got to access it
And
manually.
I'm sure when you get back on it, it'll be a little stumbly, but it shouldn't be as hard as the first time that you got on it.
True. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. And now, Eric, you don't have to tell us anywhere specific, but where are you located? Are you an American, a Canadian? I guess we could do that.
Yeah, I am in Ontario. Currently
Nice.
Oh,
Very
nowhere
okay.
special.
And
Yeah, I'm located like 30 minutes north of Toronto.
Oh, no kidding. Nice.
Yeah.
What is that? North York or what's above Toronto?
Yeah, Richmond Hill.
Richmond Hill.
Okay.
Okay. Nice. Very good.
Oh, I
Yeah.
tried to guess it before you said it, but
Huh.
you beat me to
What are you
it.
gonna do?
I
Yeah.
honestly, that's like the only thing I know about directions is like Richmond Hill's above Toronto or like kind of. Well, I don't know. Is it above Toronto?
It's a hill. Hills are high up,
Yeah, like I just
When
know
you
that
say
Montreal
north, you say up.
there.
Yeah.
And it's always past Toronto. Like you guys have to go past Toronto, so it's like.
Nice. Oh,
That's
so
okay.
that reminds me. I have to redact a statement I made. Luckily, I'm not an actual journalist, but I think it was our second or third episode. I was talking about how since I live in York, I'm not in shutdown. But as it turns out, York isn't in the region of York. Isn't that weird? the region of York begins above North York. So
you are in shutdown.
it's not the biggest spreading of misinformation in the world, but yeah, I was saying how I'm not in lockdown, but I actually am because York is in Toronto. So bada boom, bada bing. You know?
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm actually not in lockdown.
Oh, are you in the region of York?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So there you go. What are you? Are you like stage yellow or red?
I don't know, to be honest. I
True.
really don't know.
We would assume red if you're right beside a lockdown region.
yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mean, there's
most are red.
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
I
what
mean,
about
there's
in
still
Hamilton?
restaurants.
Hamilton's red
Right.
zone. Like I just feel like the surrounding areas are all red, kind of.
Yeah, true. All of
Right?
Southern
I don't,
Ontario, that
I
is
don't,
in lockdown, I guess. Yeah.
I don't want to be thrown out misinformation and people coming for me in my sleep.
Right,
It's
exactly.
it's
It's just
crazy. Right?
instantly.
I can't even like. I literally like today was the first day like I went out in a little bit to like other stores. Like this was the first day I went to the mall in 9
Oh my
months.
gosh. Yeah, yeah.
I
Well, how
I
was that?
literally have been quarantining. I have not been like going to like my biggest thing is like the grocery store, and
Right.
even that is like I swear like I went to the grocery store today and it seems like okay, so I went on, for instance, Friday, and on Friday it was packed in there, like absolutely packed. That when I came in, it was like, okay, I'm in, cool,
Right.
packed. I literally people up and down everywhere, every aisle filled. But on the way out, there's now somebody capping people coming in. So it's like, okay, they saw that it was like overpopulated. I go
Yeah.
in today, however, I have to go into a line. So now it's
Okay.
like they're capping people. Okay, cool. But
Yeah.
there's tape in between the lines, and I can see that in the glass, the guy's right behind me.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
literally, like not half.
Yeah.
Like you know how it's like tape,
Yeah.
tape. He's not half. He's like behind, like literally
He's
just standing
breathing
right
on
behind
you.
me, just right behind me. Like,
Yeah.
why? I don't get it. Why would even in just in like not even a pandemic? Why are you sitting on my asshole? I don't get it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
It
That's an
annoys the shit
entire
out of me.
tangent we could go down. Yeah,
It annoys the shit out of me.
it's I saw
Like, why are you
Mimi.
so close to me?
Yeah. There's a lot of analogies to that, and one of it is with drivers that do that, where it's like BMW syndrome. Obviously, there's
Mm.
great BMW people out there. It's not indicative of anyone who's buying that type of vehicle, but it just seems to be a stereotype. Them and trucks, they'll like ride your ass no matter how fast you're going, right? If you're going like 20 over, they'll still be like right behind you, just forcing you to go faster. It's ridiculous. And then sometimes people in line will do that, where they're like breathing on you and they're like, come on, keep moving. And you're like, bro, I'm waiting in line. Stop, please.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
like,
Yeah.
and I went to Dollarama, and I go every now and then just to pick up certain things that like the grocery store won't have or whatever.
Yeah.
And like for instance, like parchment paper, for example, it's like a certain type of parchment paper that I want that only the dollar store has. Anyways, that's the point. I
Right.
go and on entry, I'm getting asked literally 20 questions. Like, and I can't believe this lady's asking every single person.
Right.
So it's like,
Oh, what do
how
you mean? Like they're doing
inefficient?
like their own screening, I guess?
Yeah, it's just screening
Okay.
every single person that comes in. Like, but I'm just thinking,
Wow.
how inefficient is this? Like, for the person that's doing the screening.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
she's reading and her glasses are like fogging up every time because like she has a mask on. So the
Right,
glasses are
right.
fogging up. She's trying to read it, and I'm just thinking, she's asking me if I have diarrhea. I'm like, girl, if I had diarrhea, one, I wouldn't be
Whoa.
standing here.
Yo,
Two,
that's a quick way to learn it as someone.
I still wouldn't tell you if I had diarrhea.
Oh
Shit,
my
I'm
God.
coming
Yeah.
in.
That's funny. Okay, wait. So you say 20 to be hyperbolic, but how many questions literally? Was it more than three?
Oh yeah, it was 20. It was like
It
20
was
questions.
actually 20?
Oh yeah, she gave me like a full biopsy.
So I'm currently working on a kid show, and we're inside of a house with like 28 people, right? So that's a dangerous situation. You got to make sure everyone's staying safe, wearing masks the whole time. And we have a COVID rep, and the COVID rep asks us three questions and then tells us to sniff something. But still, it's funny how going into Dollarama, where there's like hundreds of people, they have a slower system,
Yeah,
than,
I'm just so confused.
you
I'm
know.
like, are you asking every single person? And she's like, yep. I'm just like, they're not
I
paying
mean,
you enough
at
for
least
this.
you're busy. Well, yeah, that would be
They're not
extremely
paying you enough.
stressful.
First of all, you're talking to every single person coming in,
Yeah,
screening,
yeah.
and every person's lying because we're all waiting in this line to get in. We're not gonna. So if I were to say yes, I do have diarrhea. First of all, that's not even
Then
a
she goes,
symptom of
go away.
girl. I just had some bad Chinese.
Yeah,
What?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna tell you I just
I
shit my
just went to
pants.
McDonald's.
Like, oh, what?
Yeah, I'm going to
Right?
Denver right now. Yeah, that's funny.
This is inefficient. It's just so stupid. I was like, this is they're pushing it now.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I guess it has this stuff has to happen, but I think it's a little too late. Sorry. That should have been happening day one.
Well, yeah, yeah. So I don't know if you guys have been listening to the news lately, and when I say lately, I mean like within the hour, but it was dropped that like by Monday next week, I think Quebec is going to start having vaccines coming out. That was a really quick turnaround because I thought Canada had a poor um, regulation system when it comes to like international medical equipment or devices or whatever because we're not making any. I think we're like getting it from America. So I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
this like super long system that was going to take months. But Quebec is like already on the case. They're like, yeah, next
I
week we're
heard it
already
was
getting it.
like I heard it was like 200,000 something, and the thing is that each person has to get two, so it's like 100,000 roughly in Toronto by the end of it.
Yeah, yeah. Which obviously doesn't equate to the population of Toronto, not even close. So
Yeah.
it'll go to the immune compromised and those who like currently have it. But
So how do you guys feel about this fact? Like, how do you guys feel about it? Are we getting the vaccine instantly?
I'll be a guinea pig. I don't care. I'll take it. I'm not scared of
Yeah.
weird side effects. Sure. I'm young.
Personally, I hear like side effects come out after 90 days, so I'm gonna wait a few months.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
co-sign that. I'll co-sign that.
Okay, you guys
Oh,
wait.
fine.
I'll be the crazy guy who ends up, his head
Joe,
explodes
hit us
because
up.
of weird
Let us
side effects. Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, I'll be that lady in Cloverfield where they take her behind that quarantine sheet and she just blows up.
Oh, that would be or me. That could be me too. Yeah, because like
Oh my
I
God.
think like if I were to go in that situation, I have like a super bad phobia of like anything medical related. So if
Right.
I go anywhere near the hospital, I just blow up.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah, true. Yeah, in your head, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Yo, okay, so I feel like I don't anymore, and I never had a fear of dentists, but when I was a kid, I had this really weird dream. It was just one dream. It wasn't reoccurring, but I was like being set up with an appointment to have like a heart transplant. And I had this dream and I was like 11 or 12, and I was like terrified. It was probably something I saw on TV, and I just don't remember that part of it. I just remember the dream, but it was so traumatic because I like ran away. My mom's like, "No, get back here! You're going under the table." And the doctor literally started chasing me, and I was like running down these weird
Oh my god.
like I ran outside and I'm like running down like down the downtown streets of Burlington, and this guy's chasing me. It was terrifying. He's like, "Come here, we're gonna put you under and rip your heart out." Like it was so scary.
Holy
I was like,
shit.
"Oh my god."
that
And
is
that'll make you scared of surgery or the medical world,
yeah,
but
terrifying.
that but I've never gotten surgery, and all real life accounts that I've ever had with anything has been nothing but good. So yeah,
I'm going
I'm
near
not one to complain.
near hospital.
Yeah.
Eric, do you have like a phobia of like anything like that? Like blood or like gore or like Saw movies? Can't watch that. Or like be around
I don't
it.
think too much about it. I have to say though, I do think a lot when I'm in the ocean, and I imagine my leg getting like ripped off by a shark. That comes up in my head. If
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to know something so interesting? Okay, so there's two instances. One is like I have like a bad hand injury where like glass like almost went through my hand. So like I'm actually like kind of paralyzed on this hand.
What? Oh my gosh! Wow.
So like my
Yeah.
hand doesn't open fully on this hand. It's because I'm like actually so I went to the hospital like
Right.
multiple times and I kept blacking out because I was just every time my dad
So
I would just
scared.
wake up and my dad would just be like slapping my face. Waking up the
Yeah.
doctor's like, okay, like you need to like I couldn't like just ever like I'd wake up and like black out.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh.
it's like it's not healthy for me to wake up and black out, wake up and keep doing that.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
had to, like take me off the like it was just like the weirdest like I see like if I see like a cotton swab like in like glass,
Right.
I'm out like a light.
Oh my god.
A needle,
Wow.
anything, I'm like no. On top,
Yeah.
but I think it maybe like I don't know if it has something to do with this, but in Barbados,
Mm.
I had some family that like lives in Barbados at the time, whatever. I was young, swimming in the ocean. I had heard them talking about sharks prior, like just as a little kid, you're hearing oh da, 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 da. But then we're going in the water and they're like, oh no, there's no sharks, you'll be fine, da, 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 da. But there is
Yeah.
sharks. Does
What,
my
like
dad
where you
not,
were swimming?
does my dad, and I'm a young kid, does my dad not yell out shark and rip me under the water? And
Oh my God.
I've never had so much water. Like
Such a dick move.
I was like, I thought I was dying. Like it was the weirdest. So
Yeah.
I think it has like something to do with that. I don't know. Because you
Well,
bring
yeah,
up
that could,
that just
yeah,
brings
that could easily
Yeah.
be a something, a trauma that has just planted itself as part of your
it's so
personality.
I don't go
Oh my
anywhere
God.
like where my feet are like dangling in water. No way.
Yeah.
Especially when you
I
can't see them.
Yeah, the water instantly goes dark. Like even on a bright day, if you go down like 10 feet, like scuba diving, it becomes dark quick. It's spooky
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I think I have a general fear of open water, but nothing that's like traumatic. Like I feel like I jump out of a boat if I was in the ocean and then come back to the boat, but I wouldn't go far. I feel like the idea of going
No,
far would
yeah.
freak me out.
I don't want to get out of the boat.
Or you don't even want to get on a boat. Yeah.
No, I don't want to get out of the boat. I don't.
Yeah.
I'll go on the boat, but I don't want to get out of the boat.
Right. Right.
Like, can I?
Oh.
I like to. I love fishing. Fishing is like one of my
Mm.
favorite. It's a passion that I didn't know that I had. And then one day I like had
Oh, true.
on a lake, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm fishing. This is I caught my first fish.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, the feeling is unreal. That pull.
Wow.
Like,
Okay. There you
getting
go.
it off the hook is like, but I ain't going in the water to like get it or anything.
Okay. Yeah. True. True.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm not like jumping in and shit.
So you're telling me that when you caught the fish, it wasn't so big that it pulled you out, and then your friend Smeagol was like,
If
"Where'd
it's
you
trying to pull
go?"
me
And
out,
then you
it
fell
can
down and
just
you
take
found
the
a
whole
ring.
rod.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not trying to jump in there and like it eat me up and all that Finding
Well,
Nemo stuff.
where do you fish? Do you fish like in rivers or lakes or where?
It's a
Where do you
lake, yeah.
go? Okay. Nice.
In
Nice.
Kingston.
Very good.
In Kingston. It was really good. It was so fun. And anytime I go, like my friend's parents live out there. It's beautiful on the lake.
Yeah.
Anytime
Nice.
I always will just go. I'll fish for just hours by myself. And they're always like, "Dan, you're not going to catch anything." And that's when I prove them wrong, and I'd be coming back with buckets of fish. But I always let them back in because I'm
Yeah.
nice.
Nice. Very good. Very good. Very wholesome. Yeah, that's a good turnaround. Okay, so I got a hypothetical question for you guys. Um, regardless of whether everyone's scared of open water or if that's just me, how would you guys feel about doing like a spacewalk? Right? I mean, I guess going into space is an entire endeavor in of itself, right? Like the feeling of just getting launched back and shot out into space. But then once you're in there and you're in extremely low G, because it's not zero G, right? You're still constantly falling. But if they just put a spacesuit on you, put a tether around your harness, and then just pushed you out into space, is that something that you'd be like, never? Or would you be like, well, I got it since I'm here?
Eric.
Like a spacewalk or pushing me out connected to a rope. Those are two different things.
No walk, I guess. Yeah, just space, open space.
Oh, open? No.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think so. No.
But the spacewalk.
I do the walk part. Yeah,
Okay, nice.
I do the walk in like 10 years from now or something.
Yeah, once it's affordable.
But just like pushing me out, it's just like, oh my God, like so many things could go wrong.
Yeah. But if they know that it's good and that's like part of the fun or whatever, I don't know. Still, the
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
the idea is just, I'd be like, maybe when I'm 70, when I'm like,
Less to lose, I guess. Yeah.
Sort of-
Or I guess
Yeah.
you'd have more to lose, but you're just like, well, I'm already
I
at the
feel
door.
like-
Yeah.
70, I'm like, at 70, they're gonna push me out. I'm dead out there. I'm coming back dead.
Yeah,
pull me
you're gonna
back
pull
to the
in
thing.
a course. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's so okay. I just think
Yeah.
it's more of like the idea sounds good, but it's like once they had put the helmet on me and were like shaking and going up, I'm like, no, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. Once the
Because
shake.
it's like I want to be back on
And
the
I'm
air.
out.
I want to be like
Yeah.
where I can.
And plus,
breathe.
you're hearing like metal scraping and breaking off as you're going up, and you're like,
It's
no.
just, you've seen too many movies where it's like nothing ever ends up good out there.
Or just real life is scary, right? I mean,
Oh, no.
there have been failed
It's just-
projects, unfortunately. Yeah. No,
I
totally
mean,
fine.
this is the thing that's going to be something of like a real thing, right?
Yeah. I think a report just came out today or yesterday that SpaceX was able to get $880 million for like from outside sources, like funding SpaceX. So like it's definitely official. Like this is becoming a commercial thing, commercial enterprise. When before it just wasn't, and that's why it wasn't going anywhere. So we'll get there eventually, slowly but surely. We'll make our way, start doing spacewalks. Yeah.
I feel like the way up would be like the scariest.
That's what I'm saying. As soon as you're like doing this part,
Turbulence.
the going up
Yeah.
part, it's like I don't want to freaking be like going into fire and like breaking the atmosphere. And I don't want to do that part. I just want to be like zapped into space and then like.
Yeah. Yo,
Back.
okay, so that actually brings
You know what
up it brings up a spooky philosophical proposition, and that is um when these things are shown in television, like in I was about to say Space Trek, Star Trek, where they're like, beam me up, Scotty, and you just get teleported, where you're in one thing and you go, you disappear, and then you reappear up in the
Do it in
ISS.
too.
Yeah, yeah, and like tons of other things, right? The Spaceballs, there's tons of great examples. And Willy Wonka has a teleporting machine, right? The question is, when you get teleported, the whole idea is that we are made up of atoms, right? And if we're teleported away, are we like, do we all of a sudden become air and then air becomes us, right? The concept that like we're not actually traveling, we are like the us down there just died and then we're being created for the first time up in the spaceship, but with all of the memories and all of the same atoms, right? Like a cut paste rather than a copy paste. It's like they're up in the space thing and
But aren't we
they're hitting
teleporting
cut
stuff?
paste.
Aren't we
It's teleporting,
the word
but it's
or not?
like the notion is that all of the atoms that were once you, it's like you were just vaporized, you were just killed, and
But
then
why
now the
can't
ups.
why can't the machine? Okay, so like
It's like
for
a
instance,
cloning machine, basically. It's like they vaporize you to dust, and then they create a brand new
so
you with all your memories.
why can't the machine teleport atoms?
It's just how the technology works. This is part of the hypothetical. It's like the
Oh,
technology is that it kills you and then clones you instantly, and that's how the technology works.
oh, I don't.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Is that okay with you? Yeah, would that sit well with you if you knew that that's what was happening?
Yeah.
It's
I
like, yeah,
mean,
I would
it's
still do
still,
it. If they were
yeah.
like, you can be in Mars in 3 seconds, or you can take a 2 year trip. Which one would you prefer? And I would go, I guess the 3 seconds.
Yeah, but
It-
like I don't want to like then later on being like looking in the mirror and then my face is like doing like weird twitching things because like the atoms
oh yeah,
align properly and like you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like
That's
I'm
definitely
seeing
the
things like
premise for a
foggy
horror
now
movie.
and like things aren't like I'm hearing weird sounds and like because my atoms just haven't like fully like back in right. I'm remembering weird things that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't normally remember.
I think I think it's like the same for me with like the vaccine idea. I'd probably wait a year to see what happens to people
To the
and
other
then like
ones, yeah,
maybe consider it.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. That's a good way. That's a good approach, I guess. Yeah.
But it's like yeah, I mean it's just you got to be safe. So it's like I mean I don't see what. I mean, I kind of don't. I mean, okay, I don't want to say anything because it's like I
If
just don't like. What does the vaccine do, really? If you don't mind, like
presumably it just makes it so it doesn't you don't die. I don't know.
that's what I
Like
don't
it is
get.
interesting because there are people that are asymptomatic. So what does it do to them? Just nothing, but now they don't have it. They're not spreaders.
That's the
Obviously,
point I
the
don't
point is to
get.
stop the spread. So the vaccine is supposed to stop the spread. But as far as each individual person goes, I don't know what the vaccine does. It's a good question. 'Cause-
Like I don't. The part I don't get is like okay, so like when you're say for instance you contact COVID,
Yes.
you're isolated for a certain amount of time, but then you're allowed to then socialize with your family again and all this stuff. No,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
so
the
that's the
idea.
part I don't get. So it's like
The 2 weeks. That's
why do
just
I
the
need a
period of
vaccine
time.
now? Then? Why would I need a vaccine now?
Oh, well,
Because I'm
because
now spreading it to people that could get it, that don't have it, and then they can spread it to somebody that could be
I
very
could die from it. Yeah.
die from it. Okay, that obviously makes sense. Wow, Darren,
Yeah,
did
that's
you
the risk.
break that down, Darren? Whoa, okay. I did have to break that down.
You did it for the audience, right? Yeah, that's the way to think
Because
about it.
I just is it's so strange. Yeah, that makes sense because then it will lower every. Because then if people are immune to it, then it'll okay. That does make sense. Wow.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
is it supposed to like is it supposed to make people immune or is it just supposed to make people have the ability to like fight it easier?
That's maybe the problem. That's part of the question I meant.
That's
Like,
where I
what
don't
does
know.
it
That's the
do?
mystery.
Just like for
Yeah,
instance,
what does it do?
my argument kind of would be more of uh like the I want to like say an argument, but it's more of like the flu shot. I hate using the flu shot as an example because it's
Right. It is a different thing, but yeah.
But it's like an example would be the flu shot is essentially giving you the flu, but a lot of people don't take the flu shot because
Right. So yeah. So I think this vaccine isn't that. I think there's two different versions of vaccines. One of them is that it gives you a smaller version of the virus for your antibodies to build themselves up, like a not a big enough dose, right? It's like watering down a shot versus taking a full shot, and the shot would be the sickness. So,
is this what would be offered for the people to get the vaccine? For us?
no. Well, I'm saying I think the COVID isn't that version. There's another version, and I don't know what that version does, but that version I think is one that just
Like, how come
directly
everyone-
attacks.
That's the part I find odd. It's like, how come everyone's talking about a vaccine, but nobody knows like what it's at?
What the hell it is?
Well,
Because people do, but they're just not good at explaining themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. I was saying I don't like to say too much because like I like to know everybody's perspective, and it just seems like they just want you to take a vaccine, but it's like, okay, why am I taking it though?
I figure there's enough competition in the world of vaccine, like there's enough medical companies that have been like trying to produce one at this point that I trust the runner-ups, right? Because I think there's two companies right now that have like a 95% success rate with their vaccine. So I'm like, that's how we've had a civilization thus far. They're not going to be pushing this thing out if it has like the worst side effect ever of us blowing up. So
like I'll take the vaccine. It's just more of like I don't want to then be
it's still a mystery. Yeah. You want to know what it does to other people.
I don't know, something that you just need later on in life because you took this vaccine.
Yo. So actually, that does bring up something interesting. There's people talking about how like COVID-19 is going to become the new chickenpox, where it never leaves our society because of how far spreading it is. Where it's just something where you got to take a shot for it, or make sure that your kid gets that way they become immune, and younger people are more resistant to it than older people, so it's not lethal. So it's like get all the kids together for a COVID-19 party and they all get it. I mean, people are doing that right now in America, but in the wrong way, right? They're like, it's not real, but
I love having chicken. It was so fun.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But it's like people who get it when they're adults, it's actually lethal. Chickenpox is like scary lethal to adults. So it's similar in that sense, right? Where the older you are, the more dangerous it is. But
when you're older, yeah.
Yeah.
But, have you guys had chickenpox?
Yeah. There's videotapes of me being naked doing a dance with chickenpox. It's messed up.
Yeah, I believe I did when I was very young. I don't recall any of it.
Yeah, I think I was like 3 years old.
Where the hell do they? It's so funny how everybody gets it when they're young, though. It's like, well, who the hell has it? That gives it to everybody when they're young.
Actually, that's a good point because of all generations.
Where does it come from?
I guess it's continually been going. It's like a gradient effect of generations. So there's always a kid who has it.
Yeah, there's always just somebody that like.
There's always someone who has it. I guess it's just never. Yeah. Because if it fully went away, then they'd be like, wait, who do we get it from? So it's just. Yeah. There's no split of generations. It's like a gradient effect of generations. Yeah.
That's what I feel with COVID. I don't think it's gonna go away, and at the same time, it's like you can't really get immune to it by getting it. You can get it twice. That's already apparently proven.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Do you know what I feel so bad about is like I watch like podcasts, I'll listen here, I'll listen there, and it's just like COVID this, COVID that, Corona.
Right.
Oh goodness. And then it's like that's all there is. It's like there's nothing else. It's just like, and now I'm here on the podcast. I'm like more.
God damn it! No, we gotta
never ends.
We're contributing.
Okay, but it's like no, it's quick fine. Pivot. I'm just saying though, like you know what I mean? Though
that's
like,
the entire world.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. It's really hard not to, and I'm just like 2020 is like I think I mentioned it in like episode 1, episode 2, 3. Like let me out. I'm ready to go. I'll walk the rest of the way. I don't want to. I'm over this. Over 2020. It needs to be 2021. We need whatever vaccines. This all needs to everything needs to start going back to normal. People need to start lining up outside of stuff, and like movie theaters need to be full again. Like it's just
that'll take some time.
Clubs. I know, but it's just like
we need to invest in drive-ins. It's the perfect opportunity to start
opening up lots of
land. Yeah, it's
Oh,
great.
Shout out to Stardust Drive-In in
Yeah,
Aurora.
man,
Go there all the
absolutely.
time.
yeah,
Oh,
that's dope. I think we have the same one here in Ham.
in Hamilton and in Oakville.
It's
Yeah,
dope.
drive-ins all the
Best
way.
thing ever. And it was so funny because one time I went with Aiden because he's
Yeah.
never been to one. So I took him and he didn't know how to use it. Like I had a brand new car at the time, which is so interesting because we took his car and he has like an older car that he's like, oh, it'll be fine. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's like
Yeah.
you want the experience, so like take your car. He
Right.
didn't even know how to turn the damn car, like the radio on in the car. So we listened to movies from like all the stereos from everybody else's car.
What? That's ridiculous.
Because he
Oh
didn't
my
know how to
God.
Oh my.
turn he didn't know how to turn the car like radio on.
Oh
'Cause the
god.
car was so old.
How old was the car? Was it like in 70s or 80s
It
or
was a
what?
Buick. It was a Buick.
Oh
It was a
wow.
Buick.
Huh.
And it's so funny because literally like months later, he was like, "Oh, it's just you just turn it the opposite way." I'm like, "Are
Oh
you
wow. Nice.
serious?" It was that like literally. Why were you checking underneath the seat and shit? Like,
It's like my mom when she goes, "Where are my glasses?" and they're just
oh
on her head.
my
Yeah.
God. That
Nice.
was the last time I was at a drive-in. I was like, "Oh, I'm good." But drive-ins are dope. Drive-ins are
Yeah.
dope.
Well, when was that? Like 2019?
Yeah, it was last year, last summer.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. Very good. Very good. They must have drive-ins in England. Have you asked Aiden about that?
No, they don't. He's never been to one. I don't. Maybe
What?
they do, but he's never been to one, and I don't think they do. To be
Oh.
honest, I don't think they do.
Right. It's a weird concept, but they have far less land than we have here in Canada and America.
Seems like something that is not like
A
very popular.
commonplace thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just have sheep in England. Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Well, okay, so speaking of drive-ins and maybe specifically the era of the 50s, um, Eric, I don't know if you would want to talk about this, but so we're all creative people here, and Eric,
Yes,
you're
of
one
course.
of them, but in a way that is very project specific. Would you want to talk about just the concept of the 50s and that kind of world of the culture that was going on at that time? I don't know if you, yeah, I don't want to be too direct in asking, so I just want, however much you'd want to
Sorry
talk about
that
that.
like you would want me to like extrapolate on maybe like what sparks maybe my interest or something or
Yeah, yeah, and just yeah, just how you go on thinking about the 50s and kind of what it means to you.
right. I mean for like take the 80s for example. There's like Stranger Things. There's all those like cult classic amazing 80 movies and everything, and everybody's so obsessed with it. And lately, like the past like 4 or 5, 6 years or more, like the generation, the millennials in specific, their fashion has been a bit like geared towards 80s fashion,
Yeah.
to some degree at least, some groups of
Yeah.
people.
Yep.
So I just was like one day I was trying to create a idea for a feature, and I was like, I've seen too much 80s. Like, let's think of a decade that maybe people can relate to just the same as they did with the 80s. And I was like, okay, maybe the 50s. A really cool style of dress. They had a lot of cool things that could be used today, such as like a Zippo lighter and stuff like that. That was like very commonly used in the 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. And just the different groups, like the greasers, were super popular in the 50s. And
I love to be a greaser so bad though.
Yeah, the socials and the greasers. Yeah.
I
yeah,
love
exactly.
greasers.
And like those two groups, and I was like, okay, why not like try to um the millennial and generation. What's the generation before the millennials?
There's millennial. I think Gen X.
Yeah, I think it's
Gen X.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Gen X can maybe relate to and it's just I feel like Hollywood hasn't really touched upon the 50s enough. I feel like there's like obviously people are gonna bring up movies like Grease and everything and like Crybaby and stuff and
Yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. That's so weird, but yeah, that's true. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like let's see some 50s movies that aren't cheesy and that aren't too over the top and all musically, but like all, I'm nothing against musicals. I love musicals. But that could be like taken dramatically and shown in like a positive way, like the 80s was. So
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah. Nice. Very good.
I feel like it's super music-y.
Yeah.
Just that word, like people from the 50s, they all actually in real life just sang all the time. Yeah, no. But I guess that's when the mood changed in the musical world, right? Because you had classical music, and then in the 30s, 40s, 50s, jazz started to come about, and then musicals were probably in the 50s and onward, right? I mean, 60s, I know for sure, was all about the musicals, but yeah. Yeah, nice, absolutely. And so did you have any interest before thinking about writing a feature for the 50s, or was the 50s like just something that kind of came from this idea of I want this thing to exist in this world that nobody quite has made yet, like a dramatic, right, telling of that time.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been obsessed with 50s music in particular. Bobby Darin, Chubby Checker and stuff like that. And they just have such, I actually saw Chubby Checker live last year, but yeah, it's just I've been obsessed with the 20s and the 50s in particular since I was maybe about 10 or 12.
Oh wow, yeah, nice. Okay, yeah.
While and that type of music and all that. So I think it was just like I was thinking of ideas, and it kind of just struck a chord in my head. I was like, okay, 50s, like let's try to create something relatable with that. So
yeah,
nice. 58.
Yeah. So how much would you actually want to talk about that? Because I'm like trying to jump around it because I don't know if you're comfortable talking about it, but you have actually created a project.
Yeah, I'm comfortable diving right in.
Nice. So I think everybody knows, and actually I can see it in your background there, Eric, that an incident happened in the 50s, something called the Roswell incident that happened in Nevada. It was very, very popular. It was something that just took the entire Western world by storm, and it was this idea that on Mars, these little green men existed that came to Earth through flying saucers and now are secretly living among us, or at the very least, they crashed that one time in the desert. But yeah. What's your take on that entire world? Is that something that like you believe in wholeheartedly, or you just love the idea of it, or what's your take on it?
That was also a huge part of the inspiration of writing 58 was I was thinking what idea hasn't really been clashed up with the 50s, and I was like thinking about what was popular in the 50s, and it was actually aliens, like Area 51, UFOs being seen, a whole bunch of incidents prior to that. I think it was the 20s. Did a what 50s? I could be completely wrong. When they actually did a broadcast of End of the World or War of the World.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was the 20s.
Everybody, they did a dramatized reading. They all thought it was real, and they went all freaking out. There's actually a Simpsons episode based on it. And yeah, I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm a huge fanatic when it comes to aliens and the supernatural and everything. So, I thoroughly believe in aliens. I hope that in our generation we will like get some more solid like visuals on them or encounters and stuff like that.
Like, geez, I'm just. It's so annoying how it's like every little picture is just a little light. It's like, can someone give me a picture?
Yeah. It's the Bigfoot effect, unfortunately. Like, it's always got to be blurry.
I think it must be something where like I think it's like I was trying to explain it to a friend where it's like or like with ghosts, for instance, and I think I tried to explain it to you, Joe, too, where it's like maybe just cameras aren't meant to pick it up.
It's like it doesn't get picked up through traditional lens.
They're just like cameras just aren't that technology where they can pick up.
We don't have the ability to reach that wavelength that maybe human eyes can see. Because who knows, right? I mean, like we have infrared, we have low lighting and high lighting, and we have all these different ways to capture light. But what if it's an energy source that isn't light, but it's something that our eyes can detect, but we don't know how to create an instrument that can detect it? Yeah, it's being shown through our visual field, but maybe it's echolocation. Who the heck knows, right? Because humans do have that. That's something that I didn't really know, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, actually, there is something topical, and it might be something that it's just this individual trying to sell a book, but someone in the administration of, I don't know if it was Israel, I think it was Israel, that was saying aliens are real and we've had proof, and it's just a matter of time before they reveal themselves. And he like just came out about it. It's one of those things where it's like you don't expect like high up politicians to be saying this kind of stuff, and he like just said this, I think literally today or yesterday. So
Oh,
it's more people officiating it like in the political world.
It's because it's like there's worse. Like everybody has now been able to hit record on anything.
It's becoming harder to hide things.
You can just talk about things now. Like before, like I was mentioning how like I just watched tons of cases about people that have just been abducted by aliens, or like they just have seen aliens.
Right. Like the amount of people that have
abducted by
made
aliens.
claims. Yeah.
All of those people will just say, "Yeah, no one will believe you. So why would you say anything?" And anybody that you tell, like news or anything like that, it's like you need proof.
Yeah.
One thing that there has been a lot of is footage of like unidentified flying aircraft. Even the Pentagon released it a few months ago, actual footage and the audio recording of the fighter pilots trying to follow one. Even a few of the audio recordings of video recordings, and but even if you
it's unidentified.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's where it's like we know what it is, but it's like pull up, like it's not meant to be seen or something.
Yeah, and also it's objects that are moving so fast, right? Where it's really hard for them to even try to track it.
There's also the giant thing that's often overlooked. I think people are just they're not either interested or they just don't want to know too much more about it, and that's why it kind of just always gets pushed under the rug. If you look at the Battle of Los Angeles, there's footage and pictures of the United States Army shooting into the sky, full military force at these lights that were there for, I think it was a few hours long, and this was in the 50s, I think.
Like,
and they're shooting into the sky at night, and they didn't know what the fuck it was, and then it just disappeared, and that was it. It's on Wikipedia, the Battle of Los Angeles.
Just saying, it's aliens right away.
It's aliens, yeah. It's straight up aliens.
Well,
sorry,
what else is it gonna be?
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, a balloon.
Well, so there is. I've heard a lot of people that have shifted the idea of it being aliens to it being like interdimensional angels and demons and stuff. There's an entire community of people online that say aliens aren't real; they're angels, you idiots, and like. They'll like use footage and be like, look, do you see when it like appears? That's because it's coming from the dimension of heaven or hell, and it's entering our dimension because it's like ripping through space. And I'm like, you could put a religious spin on it, that's fine, but yeah, it's like you can still classify as an alien.
But, right? It's like, all right.
Yeah, I'm not going to dismiss that theory. I could say it was a worm that became really smart and popped up in midair or something. It's like, and then your idea is trash. My idea about this worm popping in the air, that's the real shit. That's truth right there. It's like, you can make up anything.
It's going to come out soon. It's going to come out soon where somebody will.
That's what was just said recently. So I guess we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what
happens. I hope
so. Like it's almost there. Almost there, because remember, there's always a little bit of a missing piece, right? It's always like there's this, they heard something or they saw something, and but it's never the full, like they saw a UFO. Done.
Yeah, and plus, here's a picture of an as soon as we commercialize going into space, and as soon as we spend more time out there, I mean, how more often are we gonna be able to find things, right? Like there's something called the black satellite. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. Whereas this object that's like been in the sky like before anything else, and nobody knows what it is. It's a weird shape. It looks like a weird like polygon looking penguin. Is it Black Knight satellite or just the black satellite?
Give me more. I need more. What? This is interesting. Okay, so
all right. I didn't plan to go into this type of conversation, so let me actually look up this and then I'll share my screen. But
It's essentially what is it called again, Joe? If you don't mind me, or
So it is the Black Knight satellite. It's a conspiracy theory. It's
it's a conspiracy theory.
So it's unsubstantiated, but there are several images. So I'll share my screen now.
And
so
what
you
is
guys
its
can see
purpose?
what
If you don't want
it's just footage of a strange object that does not look like a saucer at all.
That's what. Is it,
And yeah, look at this. It kind of looks like an N64 penguin, you know?
Okay, yeah, cool.
That's the best way that I could describe it.
But that doesn't
And
look real. Though. That picture doesn't look real.
Well, so they're simulate like this. I think is enhanced, and someone just made it up, and then so they've CGI'd over it. But this is like the actual picture that's been used like all over the place, and different. It's not like the same picture. It's like there's different pictures of this thing. And it's
real to me.
Yeah, well, it's a very weird shape, and it's just always in low orbit around Earth. But that's just one of the things, you know. And so a lot of people say, oh, it was like a meteorite that was flying past us, but it's a weird shape. That looks like it's a spacecraft.
Rocks are weird shapes. You know what I mean? I just feel like,
yeah. What are you gonna do? That's one thing that's out there.
If they wanted to be seen, they'd be seen.
So they don't want to be seen.
That's what I think. I just don't think they want to be seen. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like they want to have you to have a little bit of like mystery. Like
or if they reveal themselves, then it would kind of be their responsibility to help us become spacefaring. And so instead they're like, no, you guys got to find a way to cooperate yourselves. And then once you become interplanetary, then you can join our little community and then you'll get unionized. But until then, like,
yeah,
you got to do it yourself.
Like,
we'll just observe.
Okay, or Eric, have you heard of like stories of people claiming they have been physically teleported to inside like a space? I've heard of multiple stories.
Yeah,
and it's like usually like with light, like they get like light, like a bunch of light will like suck them into like to another like light.
There's some crazy incidences where they're almost undeniable. It's like this girl got abducted and then they did a body scan on her because I think it was her arm or something was hurting, and then they found a metal piece replacing one of her bone like things.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then she got abducted again, and then it was it was behind the nasal area. It was like something like that, and then the piece like grew. It like became a larger metal piece behind the face.
Oh my God. Oh, that's scary. That's some body horror right there. I would not like that to happen to me.
And it was seamless. There was no scars or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't like hearing that.
I watch a lot of podcasts.
It's just like
I think that's tapping into your fear, Darren.
No, it's good though, because I do. This is why sometimes I can't sleep at night, because it's like I just love.
Oh my God.
I'll listen to podcasts like all just murder mysteries. Like I just want to know. I need to know the answers. I need answers at all times.
Yeah.
Because it's you can't. This just can't happen. There's aliens. There has to be something like that. But then again,
mathematically, the odds, right, is that the amount of stars you see, half of them are galaxies and they just look like stars. The rest are stars, and then the odds that a star is a planet, and then it's called the Drake equation. You guys know the Drake equation, where it's not an equation so much as it's just a list of statistic probabilities. They go 1 star. So if you have a star, that's your first step. Step 2 is have a planet that's capable of having an atmosphere. And then 3 is have life form on the planet. And then 4 is have life become intelligent. And then 5 is have life become communicative. So it doesn't necessarily have to be able to enter space, but just if it's able to send out a radio signal that we'd be able to reach, then that's the Drake equation. Is like all of the things that need to be in place for there to be intelligent life. And so obviously we meet all of those standards. So now it's like, what are the odds out there?
Yeah.
So you just have to look at the amount of stars and be like, and which we've done since I think 2003. There's been a division of NASA that checks extraplanetary systems, and we've already found like over 10,000 habitable planets just in our galaxy, not even other galaxies. So it's like, if we've already found habitable planets, then so we haven't heard any radio signals, I mean, that have been released publicly, right? Except for the WOW signal. Then you just statistically go, there must be like at least like 100 or 1,000 of those planets that have developing life at the very least, right? So it's just a matter of time before
Yeah.
we get a radio signal from one of them.
Something.
Yeah,
Something's-
yeah.
so
It makes
You
more
ever-
sense that there's lots of life versus not a lot of life. It's just a matter of being able to reach such vast distances. That's the hard part. That's the hard problem. Because for us to reach the closest star would take, I think, like 10 or 20,000 years.
Like, it's
So obviously we die before we get there.
Because like I was like telling Aiden, I was like, why don't we just like put garbage in space?
Because the amount of waste created, like the amount of greenhouse gases shooting a rocket, right? That's like extremely harmful for the environment.
What
So
do you
maybe
mean?
that's why.
You put all the garbage in like a pod
In a
and
rocket.
and then you shoot it out in there.
I feel like it's not efficient enough. We need to create like a space elevator.
Yeah, well, like it doesn't have to be like a rocket, but like I just mean something that like,
Some
is
kind
taking
of power. Yeah.
and like once it's out in the space, it like pushes it out. I'm just thinking, why don't they do this?
Because they got to create an efficient system. So nobody wants to start. But as soon as one country does it, the rest will probably do it. Space elevators, garbage elevators.
It's like space is just endless. It's like just throw everything out there.
Yeah. It's crazy how endless it is. It's so big.
Right?
It's
It makes no sense.
ridiculous how fast it
Doesn't make
is.
sense. So there has to be others. The way I say there has to be something else out there kicking.
Yeah. Well, not even in a different star system, but we have two moons. Not we like planet Earth. Um, Jupiter has one moon, which name I forget. It might be Ceres, even though I'm probably wrong there. Or no. It's Europa. And there's another. I think Saturn has the one that's Ceres. And both these moons are covered in a layer of ice, and we've had satellites that go over them, and we test like infrared, and they have like volcanic systems that are like heating up the surface. So the fact that the ice is still covering it means that there isn't an atmosphere, but the fact that there is volcanic activity like on the surface underneath the ice means that there is an entire ocean world that's under the ice. And if there's water, there is life, because that's how we know how life works, right? Is through H2O. So it's like there's probably like a bunch of squids and crazy aliens like in an ocean world that's literally just right over there. Like it wouldn't take us more than 5 years to get there. Like it's not even that far.
Yeah, 100%.
And we already send satellites. We just got to send a little probe with a drill, and then a little scuba drone to go down in there, and and we'll probably just find like a huge entire ecosystem of like a bunch of fish. So it's like I don't know if they'd be intelligent life, but it'd be an ocean world. Like it's crazy to think that we could have aliens
Like,
literally right there.
I think they're just like waiting for like to like somehow capitalize on it, like somehow. Do you know what I mean? It's just they haven't found a way to like make money off of it.
Well, I think our current politicians are just short-sighted. It's because if like we've been able to go to the moon since the 60s. Why are we not, it's like the dream of 2001: A Space Odyssey has not yet been reached because we're just too short-sighted. People are like, no, well, we want to make money now. We don't want to invest in something that could like, because it's all about money, right? That's the only reason why a government or a corporation would do it. So it's like, oh, okay, fine, we'll make rockets that'll send us to the moon if we're able to like bring back gold. Like if we're able to mine the moon, then it would be a worthwhile investment. But
way to profit off of it. If they're not profiting on it, there's no reason for them to do it.
then there's no incentive, which is very stupid. Even though obviously there's an incentive, there's the future of the human race to be in space. That's like our next frontier.
I know that's like I'm pretty sure like that's probably just like a basic question that I honestly just popped in my head today. I was like, well, why is it not in space? It makes no sense. And then it's just like, well, there's no way for it to get there. It's like, why have we not created one?
Because it's one of those things.
Like, it maybe doesn't seem efficient either, but I just feel like it could be if you make it efficient.
Yeah.
Isn't it more efficient than having all the garbage on the planet?
Pile up, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. No, it's a good question.
I don't know. I'm trying to read the room right now. I'm like, is it? I don't know.
No. You're right. That would be the best way to do it. Send the garbage.
It only makes sense.
It's endless. Like it just
send it to the sun. You don't even have to send it out into deep space. Just literally aim it at the sun.
Burn it up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like being in an apartment and you just open up the garbage chute and throw it down, right? Just launch it right at the sun. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like I don't want any of that stuff coming, like the gases not coming back. So like launch it out and like let it go on the side that the Earth isn't on, just by
Well,
the sun. Let it burn
yeah,
up there.
exactly. Aim it at the
You
sun and
know what
have
I
it
mean? Like
fart
aiming so
out.
it goes
Yeah.
around the sun.
Yeah,
Attach like
exactly.
a
Yeah.
thruster on it.
Oh, actually, okay, so that brings up a thought that I had recently, which is, or I guess not recently, but I've had it several times, and I just recently remembered this thought that I keep coming back to, which is in time travel movies and stuff, they always find a way to time travel where they end up going back to the 80s, or like Back to the Future is like always the best example for time travel. But one thing that nobody ever takes into consideration is you don't have to just go back in time. You need to have the location too. And I guess there are like a lot of TV shows that do that, but like that seems like it would be a lot harder than we normally think of, because whenever we think of like the sun going and the earth going around it, we imagine the sun's just sitting there and then the earth is going like this. But in reality, the sun is also circling the center of the galaxy, right? That's why it makes that spiral disk shape, is because all of these stars are circling this giant black hole. So we're not like the earth isn't just going like this. It's like constantly like playing catch up, like chasing after the sun. So if you were to go back to the 80s, but you don't change your location, like you just go back to the 80s right where you are, you would just be like in the middle of space. You would instantly die, you know? You would hit that DeLorean and then just shoot off into space. And, you know, the Earth would be like 100 million light years that way. Like it'd be so far away from you.
Oh, I get it now. But
Because the location wouldn't be where it is,
it's like,
right?
yeah,
The
I
80s like
No.
is, you know, 20 years is you can travel really fast every second. So 20 years is like, you know, you just be gone.
Apparently time traveling is 100% possible. It's just the specificness of where to travel to, because if you
oh
think
man,
about it,
Joe.
you'd have to calculate the amount of rotations and somehow input that into whatever you're using to time travel to go back to that exact time, because it's like
Yeah.
the universe doesn't
Yeah.
listen to our way of how we calculate time, calling it a year or calling it a day. It's not going to
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
just so funny. Oh my god.
It's it's
So
almost like NASA back in the 60s, how they had to manually calculate the trajectory of the rocket. They like had to check the wind speed and they had to do all of this stuff because there's no redirecting. They just send it once
there's
and then the environment takes it. So the same thing would be with time travel. You would have to aim the trajectory of where you want your body to be. So you're like, I want to be at that empty part of space there because
no.
20 years ago that exact spot is where Earth was. So
You just
and then
start
you time travel.
you just pull out the red marker and like start writing. Okay, I need like this
You got to do the calculation. You're like, all right, so you got to
the
launch me out
wall
of
is
this
just
rocket.
full
And
of
it just
calculations.
yeah.
Oh my
But
gosh, yeah, but so true.
okay, so there's one more screen share I want to do with you guys. I'm just going to pull it up first. It's in my interesting things uh, little catalog here. Okay, all it is a picture, but now I'm trying to think of what the name of the show was. Is it Beyond, something like that? It was originally a show from the 50s, and they tried to like redo it, kind of like what they did with the Twilight Zone, where like every decade or so they would like renew the entire series and then do it again. Um,
Mhm.
and they tried in the 90s and it failed horrifically. But this one gem, I think it was called The Six-Fingered Man. This weird looking goblin dude here. It was part of this anthology series where this one episode was all about what will humans look
Sick.
like in the future. Because, you know, if
Ew.
you look at what we looked like 3 million years ago, we were
Actually,
Australopithecus. We basically look like chimpanzees. And now we've evolved so much. So it's like, what will the future version of us look like? I don't know why we have elf ears, but
we've
like,
we've
will our
devolved in
brains?
my eyes. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
haven't
this is
come
a
a
weird
long
thing.
way in the future, apparently.
Yeah, I guess it's C-sections all the way, because if we're all having giant heads like this, I feel bad for every
I
woman
feel
giving
like
birth.
I don't know why. I feel like I'm a little like
What?
pull that picture back up, Joe. Like
What? Why? You just wanted?
Like, are you
Look at
guys
this.
serious right now?
That's
Like,
what
are
they
y'all
thought humans
serious?
would look like in the future.
I'm literally one of these things right now.
You're doing that with the ears.
Like, come
That's
on.
funny.
I literally look like this guy. My head's huge. Mama
Yeah,
head.
that's so funny. There we go. We
So,
made it. We're here. It's their depiction of
but
2020.
that really is it. I'm thinking that'd be so much more further, like 2074. I'm picturing. Like,
At least we'd have the elf ears by then. Yeah.
it's so interesting, 2020, and it'd be
That's
like,
funny.
this is like,
No. That's not what the show said, but yeah. Well, okay, so it's not only the image of this weird looking dude, it was also he became like less violent, less greedy, less selfish. He became more empathetic and that stuff. So it's like the evolution of man isn't just physical, it's also mental. Like this idea of us being angry and wanting to fight and like violence and stuff, that all kind of falls away by the wayside. I mean, I don't see how that happens. I would want that to happen. That seems more like a pipe dream. I think violence is like part of our nature that we can't get rid of, really. But that'd be nice, obviously.
That's
Yeah.
quite interesting how, like, it's just like, where does that come from?
What violence? Let me tell you. So,
Yeah.
it's competition, right? Because obviously you have to survive, and we're omnivores, so we need a hunting instinct. We need to be able to kill other animals that are running away from us. So we're like hunting deer and ox and whatever the heck, right? As we're roaming the savannah back in ancient Africa. Um, but yeah, it is extremely unfortunate that humans are seemingly more violent than other creatures because other predator animals are only violent when they need to be. However, people can be cruel and sadistic and like they're psychopaths that like enjoy torturing and murdering people and stuff. It's like other animals don't do that. They only murder when they're hungry or when they see something that they can murder, and then they just do it really quick, and then it's fine, and then they eat the thing, and that's it, right? And yet humans, we're a lot more complicated, and I think one of the unfortunate parts of it being complicated is that we can be unnecessarily cruel to our fellow, human being. It's one of the drawbacks of consciousness. Yeah, because back when I was a kid, I was always like, it's great to be a human being, but there are some downsides, right? Like general downsides, like depression and anxiety. I think those two things are like stuff that every human is born with. You can't avoid that. There's no human being that is without issues. Everybody has issues because we're all being born itself is a traumatic event, right? You're screaming the whole time, and it's just this crazy ordeal. And then when you're like, however old, right? Some people can become older, but usually it's like when we're 4 or 5, we learn what death is because like a caterpillar gets squished on or you see a bird die or something like that, right? And then once you learn what death is, you're like, oh wait, I'm also an organism. I will one day die. And then it just, yeah, it's no other animal has that burden. So I think that maybe that plays into why we are as complicated as we are. But yeah.
It's so sad because it's like
Existentialism.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the unfortunate idea that we can look out and see our own situation. But I mean, all things considered, we still have civilization. That is not, Trump was not unable to erode it. So we're still doing good in that front. We just got to keep trying to
Despite his
prosper,
efforts.
right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but
elections,
what are you gonna do?
back to elections, COVID.
Exactly. Elections and COVID. It is top topics.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I have a topic for you guys.
Yes, absolutely. Hit it.
I'll share you. So I got myself an early birthday gift.
Oh snap! What'd you get?
I'm screen sharing my own screen. Sorry. Why did
No,
I say
that's
birthday gift? Well, I've been saying birthday gift because it's Christmas, but I feel like
Christmas.
if you're buying yourself something, it's technically like a birthday gift, so that's why I've been saying.
Yeah.
I got
Tushy.
I got an attachment for my toilet.
Oh snap! What? What? You got a bidet?
Oh,
In my house.
Oh my god! Wow, luxury
the
living, baby.
next level. The next
Yo,
level.
I like how the price was once 109, but then it went down to 109. I love it.
That's true.
Oh, look at that! Oh,
Good night, Joe. Good night. But look
oh
at
my
that.
god!
I'm sick and tired.
Oh my god! Look at it squirting up.
I use so
Wow.
so much toilet paper. It's not unreal.
Yo, that's
I'm not-
intimidating.
You
That
guys use a lot.
intimidates me.
You guys use a lot of toilet paper.
Yeah, I mean, I should have more like I don't know, more bread in my diet, I guess. But yeah.
What in the hell?
Oh,
Eric, do you use a lot of toilet paper?
Oh yeah, yeah. I go through like a roll a day.
Yeah.
oh my
Okay.
God! Whoa,
No, no,
no.
no.
I don't understand how
Slightly
like
less.
it's, and I use baby wipes too. I use wipes too.
I'm beginning to use baby wipes actually. Now that my girlfriend and I got our new place, we got some baby wipes, and now I only use it right at the end. I'm not like only using baby wipes, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah, no,
just to
only at
finish
the end,
off,
like couple. Yep.
just to make
Exactly.
yourself extra clean.
It's
Yeah.
like, what the heck? I don't know. I just at first I was like, I don't really like the idea of like if if I want to wash my ass, I'll just go and wash my ass. But
Hop it up on the sink is inconvenient.
it's
You got to get
more
yourself
of
a bidet.
I don't want to. Well, I didn't think of it as like in that sense. I thought of it more as like I'll just hop in the shower and wash my ass.
Every time you shit, though, what if you shit twice a day? Then you're
But that's
showering
the thing
twice
I
a day.
didn't realize. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that when you like say something out loud, you don't realize it until it's actually in play and you're going
Yeah,
toilet paper during Corona, and
yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm using a lot of toilet paper. Like, holy shit, I do use a lot of toilet paper. But now that it's like a thing of like toilet papers has to be like everybody's switching to bamboo and shit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Now you don't need to go wait in that Target lineup.
That's right. You
Yeah.
never have to go back
Do you
to
know what I mean?
Dollarama
It's
or
like something where
Walmart.
like obviously I'm gonna still have toilet paper in my house, obviously.
You don't need it though. You can just let your ass dry.
For myself.
I don't know. Or does it have a mechanism where it dries it for you? Does it have like a
No.
blow dryer in there that just like
Have a blow
sprays
dryer
hot
pump,
air?
Whatever
This
that's
is the
gonna be.
future. This is the future we need. We need one of these devices on
Leaf
SpaceX.
blower comes out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Very good. Very
Because
good.
I just feel like I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's just like that's my birthday / Christmas gift to myself.
Nice.
And
Very
everybody
good. Very good. I applaud it.
else. But when I actually move into when I move into a house, I'll get a toilet with a bidet, and then I'm still bringing this one to the one that don't have one.
The guest
I'm
bathroom.
looking at
Yeah,
everywhere.
exactly. Nice.
And
Yeah.
how do you guys feel about? Okay, so I looked on the website, and
Right.
it was like
What?
I'm gonna screen share. What?
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about this. Like, let's see if I can find it.
What are you about to pull up?
Like, what is this? I'm sorry. Like, am I screen sharing right now? Okay, sweet.
It's loading. Yeah.
What's this? Tushy Travel.
Tushy Travel. Oh, I know. The second I saw that device, I
the-
know how it works.
What's going on here?
Well, you're not supposed to do it while you're walking, but it's like if you
Well,
take
Is that a
shit in the
water
woods,
bottle?
Oh,
no, I know exactly how that works. Look at that. Yeah, it's the pump release. So I
What?
sound
You
like a
see the
crazy
nozzle
person right
there?
now
Like
because
what?
I've never experienced this before, but I have experienced shitting in the woods, and I'm guessing
Yeah.
you fill that with water, and then
You
you
do.
pop a squat and you just press it down and it shoots water. It's a manual
Because
bidet.
like it has the pressure, but
Wait,
it's like
but how do you get position to
yeah,
grab like
what's the position?
You have to
And
take
where's the
your pants
water
and underwear
going?
all the way off and hope a bear doesn't find you while you're shooting water up your ass.
But even just think of it as like using this in a toilet, just like
Oh
right.
my God. Yeah.
couldn't?
It
Yo,
just
that
seems like
picture,
it would
man.
be-
What the?
Because
Like, how
it
is
makes
that
sense.
squeezing
Face
it?
makes sense because
Oh
I would be
my
making
God.
that face too. If I was you.
Looking right at a bear while you do it, just to assert dominance.
But I'm just thinking like if I'm
So I
out
got-
somewhere, I'm pulling this thing out of my bag. Okay, bringing it with me.
Yeah, you're just like, what? You guys don't have a travel bidet? Psh, thespians.
So and then I'm scooting
Rip
over
your
to-
pants down.
because think
Oh
of it
my
as like
God.
your hand has to be underneath enough where like it could squirt it up, but then
Yeah,
you want that water to fall on your hand now? Hell no.
because that's
the
dirt. That's
thing,
dirty poop
yeah.
water.
But the
Good
thing is,
point.
it's in a direction where you can see that the water clearly it's like the spout is like in a certain direction where the water clearly is going to be.
There's going to be an art to it. There's going to be an art to it.
where the
Yeah,
water will
yeah.
come up, right, and it
Like,
doesn't wet
why not just use a spray bottle or something?
because that would probably wet your hands. Because
Well,
think
like-
of it as like that bottle.
Probably
in
did
It
the
would do the
toilet.
same thing. It would do the same thing. I think you could just use a Gatorade bottle.
Maybe I should have just saved my damn $100 and I just
Yes.
got a spray bottle. Shit. Just be spraying my ass.
Just spray the ass. Yeah, exactly.
It has a thing though. It has like
Water.
a temperature and like a nozzle thing, so it's nice.
Yeah. It's fine
Like,
too.
you
Yeah.
can control it, and like has a self cleaning thing. But I just feel like I'm just over it. I'm just over it. I'm just thinking, is this bad? Okay, that sounds really bad. I'm going right into it. Is
Yeah.
my asshole too hairy? Is that the issue?
Well, so I haven't seen yours personally, but I would
Is that why I'm
assume.
using toilet paper? Because
Joe, is
some-
it too hairy?
All right, let me tell you. Let me get a good look in there. Let me see what's going on. Um, no. Well, okay. So obviously, we've all heard of dingleberries. So it is a phenomenon where if you're not wiping properly, some poo balls will stick and create a thing. But I mean, typically,
I
you're
would never,
supposed to.
ever have that happen.
So I was never taught this, but I just learned myself later in life that you're supposed to spread your cheeks when you take a deuce, because if you don't, then like
Oh, okay.
because then there's no chance of the hair even touching the turd, right? It just flies right down into the toilet. So
Oh.
the
That
art
is
of
true,
shitting,
actually. That's actually
because
a good
then
idea.
you still wipe, and but the hair that runs the rim of the hole will be unperturbed.
But I'm honestly thinking that's why I have to use so much toilet paper is because the shit's always catching on the hair.
Because you're just squeezing your cheeks shut while you're shitting,
Oh.
it's just spraying out.
What? I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not sitting and spreading my ass.
Pressing.
Oh my god, yeah.
Definitely not doing that.
But yeah,
But-
yeah. Just spread the cheeks.
Saving the environment too. Like,
Yeah.
hello. It's, 'cause
Hello.
apparently wipes aren't that good for the environment.
No, yeah, I know. I'm using it with the knowledge that I'm destroying the earth. Because wet wipes don't dissolve the same as toilet paper.
Yeah.
Not as
So,
easily dissolvable.
I'm at the point where I have to have wipes now. Like
Right.
it's like I'm like learning that I like as I get older. I'm like there's stages. There's stages where it's like all I cared about.
You start as a baby where you need wipes, and then you grow up and it's just toilet paper, and then you get older and you need wipes again. Yeah. It's
Older,
the
I'm like-
little comforts that you learn. Yeah.
I'm literally just holy shit. I'm using so much toilet paper. I'm like this is not okay. And if you think about it, it's like if I use this, I probably save a little bit of money.
Exactly. I think you made the right choice. Is it like, did you just buy it, or
Just bought
did
it
you just
before the
receive it?
podcast.
Just
I
before the podcast? That's so funny. Did you and Aiden talk about it? I don't think this was mentioned actually, Eric,
I
but
actually got
Aiden is
him-
his roommate. I
I
don't think
got
we
him
mentioned
Okay.
it.
I'll get
Yeah.
him to come on. But I got him to order it on his computer because I don't have Honey, and he had Honey, and we saved $15 on Honey, guys. This isn't sponsored, but Honey saved us $15 on
Honey,
the order.
please reach out to us.
$15.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not downloading that on my computer, but I'll be back if I have to order anything.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't
Wait,
have
but
Honey on my computer.
is Honey free or what? What's the
Yes,
situation there?
it's a free app that you just add.
Wow.
Eric, do you have Honey?
Honey, no.
See, like literally, guys,
Wow.
I'm telling you, I
Life
don't want that shit on my
changing.
I don't want that shit on my computer, but I could not.
I would
even-
never put it on my
I-
computer.
I
But you
ran and got
guys
my
definitely
card
recommend.
so fast. After it said
Yeah.
$50, I ran and got my card so fast. I was like, take it, put it in quick before it like cancels it.
Yeah. Is
Just
Aiden
on-
excited for the bidet?
So yeah, I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
You'll have.
Has he ever used one? Is he like a connoisseur of bidets?
I don't know. I haven't asked him. I'll ask him. But
Okay, you got to learn these things about your roommates, right?
next week.
Yeah, nice, very
You
good.
like it?
I'm excited for both you and him to give a review of the bidet and just let us know how it works, the in and outs.
It's express too, so it's 1 to 3 business days, and
Nice.
it's not like
No,
it's Friday.
coming.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I hate
Yeah,
when it's like
yeah.
1 to 2 business, and it's like Friday night at 9 p.m. I'm like, oh god, I have to wait
Yeah.
like 8
It's that-
days for this now. Great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
Eric? You know what I
Amazon
I
is
gotcha.
taking a long time.
mean? I have to
Like
get
the
this
past
next-
like month. I think it's all the Christmas gifts that are being delivered.
Yeah. And just regular gifts.
That's it. I'll let you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
You're cutting in and out, but we got the excited part.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's a lot of it's Christmas because everybody's ordering offline, right? So everything's
Yeah.
super backed up like crazy.
Yo,
Yeah.
you guys want to talk about backing up? So, my girlfriend and I move into our apartment for the first time on Halloween. It's very exciting, right? We order a bunch of stuff, and we know it's going to be a bit late here or there. So it's like we had to make sure that we had a bed on day one, right? Everything else could take its time. And so slowly but surely, we accumulate all of the general things that you need for your own place, right? We're getting the wardrobe, we're getting the work desk, we got the TV, a coffee table, all that fun jazz. And we get ourselves a sectional, a pull-out sectional for guests, whatever, right? Like in the post-COVID world.
Because I definitely
But
want sleepovers.
that's yeah, exactly. I'll have you over. Um, but it changes its date, and this is from the Brick, right? This isn't just like some weird like website or whatever. The Brick's like, you guys ordered your brand new sectional, cost you $1,000. You guys are gonna love it, but it's been delayed 2 weeks. So sorry, but it'll be here in the middle of November instead of the beginning. And we're like, God damn it! All right, well, whatever. 2 weeks isn't too bad, right? We'll just sit out on fold-out chairs. So 2 weeks passes, and they tell us like basically the day or two before, and we're just worried because we're like, we haven't heard anything. Is it going to be here like outside? Like we need to be prepared for this. This is a large object. And they're like, so we've extended the delay, unfortunately, another 2 weeks, but you should be getting it early December. We're like, okay, great. And so now it's early December, and they're like, we've delayed it to the end of December. So sorry for the delay. And we're like, you didn't delay it to the end of December. It's going to be a New Year item. Don't fuck with me. Like, if you've delayed it this much, just say fuck you, and we've delayed it, and go fuck yourself, customer. Like, I quit yanking my chain, you know? So we've literally been on fold-out chairs for the past almost 2 months. That's what it's going to be.
God.
Fold out chairs, yeah, like that's so uncomfortable. And then we're like, we can't watch TV for more than an hour before it starts hurting our back, so we'll just go to bed.
That is
unfortunate.
That is so ruthless.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
But
what do you
what?
Wow.
That, but why wouldn't they just tell the truth and just say it's way too much?
Yeah, well, because I'm sure they didn't know what was going on. Because I'm assuming it's like the project was made in China or something, and they were like, okay, we have the idea for the product because this is like a brand new line. It isn't like a sofa that's been sitting at their place, right?
But also,
so it's like a new concept thing.
What do you mean it's a new It's a they're
like it's a brand new sofa that they made, like a new model.
But they do furniture. They should.
I know, but I don't know.
It's like you're telling me that they've never had furniture that takes a little extra longer. Then just let us know how long it's gonna take. Don't say, "Oh, sorry, it's inconvenient for
another 2 weeks." 2 weeks.
Fair enough. 2 weeks. No, 2 weeks. It's like, don't you guys know how long it's just gonna take?
Yeah, just tell me at this point.
Like, it's not like it's 2 months. That's not like.
That's a lot more than just. Sorry, early.
It?
Yeah, like did you break it? Did someone fart on it and just shot his pants? Like, what's going on? Yeah, I don't know, and I won't know until we get it. So, yeah,
super odd. Because if it's one thing that's going to take a certain time, then just it's like because with COVID you would think okay, and even if with
there's going to be delays.
There's going to be delays, obviously. Yeah, but there still lets us know, like when I order on Amazon, it's going to say, be aware that it's not going to take just 7 days; it'll take maybe 14.
Actually, yeah, that's another thing. The world of Amazon has now changed our expectations. Our shipping expectations now are that we're able to track our orders through FedEx or Canada Post or whatever. But here we are with the Brick, and we're not able to track it, and we're just waiting. And then we're like, "Is it coming?" And then we get an email saying it's been delayed again, and we're like, "Bro,
something to track."
What are you gonna do? You know, I'm sure this is like a layer of Dante's Inferno. We're like going deeper and deeper into hell.
I remember in March when like COVID and everything began, I ordered like 100 masks and I got them last month.
What?
Wait.
Yeah.
What? That's ridiculous. Oh my god, that's
like
awful.
I already died.
Yeah, I've been dead for half a year.
Yeah. My whole family has COVID now because you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
you have failed. I don't need them anymore. Like,
DHL's just leave it here on the tombstone.
Oh my god. I like what's the lesson to be learned here? That we just should order through Amazon? Is that the only way? Or where'd you order your masks from?
I was off Amazon.
Oh, it was. Oh, damn. Okay, I immediately take that back. Damn.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard because it's like I'm an Amazon seller, and like I'm honestly stopping. Like once I run out of my like shipping of stuff, like inventory, I'm done with Amazon. Like I'm done. gonna be an Amazon seller anymore.
Amazon's evil as fuck. It's like we all know it's evil.
I was
It's the
ahead
same
of
with
the
like
wave.
Hershey's and Coca-Cola.
Like,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't want to be part of that shit anymore.
Yeah,
So,
because it's just Jeff Bezos as like a dragon with his giant pot of gold. You know, he's like Smog from The Hobbit, where he's just like got an entire castle full of gold that he's crawling around in. It's ridiculous.
Man
He's the
with the
world's
evil
first
laugh.
trillionaire. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
The man doesn't need that much wealth.
It's a lot of
He's like a broken computer system. It just keeps adding and adding and adding. It's like, stop! Like, there's actual poor people in the world. What are you doing?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Filter your money elsewhere.
Yeah, like try to help the world. Like if he was a government, he would be a dictatorship and people would overthrow him. It's like nobody has the much like like wealth distribution is just a general part of like the economics of countries. And then now we got individuals that are just like, I am beyond that. Like I have so much money. I have more money than any country in the world. He could create his own country in the middle of the desert if he wanted. Such a weird thing to think about, but it's like he's wealthier than most countries, and he could create his own country if he wanted.
It's always so funny, like watching like billionaires like donate, and they donate like $1 million, and it's like, really, you couldn't just put a zero beside that? And it
exactly.
Cost nothing. Like it's
yeah. Oh, it's crazy to think about.
It's sad, but at the same time, it's like it depends, though. It depends. It's like I will 100% agree with you, Eric. 100% agree with you, but at the same time, I ain't done it. I actually am this Christmas, for instance. Like, I bought one already. I'm gonna buy another. I'm maybe gonna buy 3 in total. I don't know if I'm gonna buy 3, maybe 2. I know about 2, but I'm just thinking maybe I'll just buy 3. Because at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know where it's going. Maybe I should do my own. I don't know if I should do research, but I just in the grocery store they had these like bags for $10. I bought one already, and it had like pasta and like just stuff in it. Where people are quick to say like millionaires don't give any, but it's like I don't have any money and I ain't giving no money. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a lot better off than like I just bought a bidet. Like a lot of people are like probably like they can't afford.
You could be poor and buy a bidet. That's not.
Yeah, but at this time right now, it's like some people could disagree with that and say, "Oh, I don't have the money for that. I just got laid off my job."
Yeah.
Right.
There's
for it's
you know
all
what I mean?
circumstantial, really.
Yeah, and there's a quote about how if breaking a law results in you having to pay a fine, then that's only an actual punishment for poor people. Like that's or something like that, where it's like there's so many, it's different worlds when it comes to wealth, like inequality and like how people are treated and stuff. It's weird how someone who's like a trillionaire can give $1 million to, try to help feed poor people, but how many human rights issues is he constantly breaking and having to pay, and like how many times is he sued and he just pays it off, and all that kind of insane stuff that he's doing. Like how much worse is he making the world versus better? I don't know. I mean, he's making it convenient for people like us who are ordering off Amazon, but other than that, I mean, it's crazy.
Isn't it something where like it could just be capped or something, and then like it just goes? I mean, no, it can't. It's just
a wealth cap.
It's just the way. No, I was just thinking like it can go back into something like where it's like all the money now goes into stuff. Like to like stuff like into the people's pocket instead of his pocket.
Into the wages of your employees. That'd be nice. Just pay them more. Yeah.
But again, that's why I work for myself, and I don't like. That's why I started Amazon to begin with, because there was at one point when I started it. Get this, when I started Amazon, I was telling like my coworkers about it, and they were being like, "Why would you order stuff online?" That's how quickly Amazon like jumped off, because it over like. So like for instance, I sell like at the time I started selling like these type of like cleaning gloves.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, this is stupid. I'm not gonna make any money. And at first I wasn't making any money. At first it was like a sale.
Yeah.
But then a pandemic just happened, and then now everybody needs cleaning gloves. And I just sold out.
Right. Yeah.
Just sold out so much. And then from there, now to redo it, like to do it all again, it's 10 times harder because of COVID now. So that's why I'm out. So
You just sold a jad and you're out.
Like it helped me be able to like
Yeah.
breathe for a little bit, pay my rent, things like this, figure out a new business plan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
have money to
nice,
sit
nice,
back
very good.
on, which is great. Have put some money aside to save.
Yeah.
Help me in that sense because literally I was buying. It's sucky because I'm literally what I was doing. I was buying products from like China basically. Well, I bought the gloves from China, and I like they give you like a standard, like say it's like a Sharpie. You would
Yeah.
you have to find something that's in like a specific niche that's like very very in high demand but has very low competition, and you have to find
Yeah.
your research. Let's just say the Sharpie is like a one of a kind, and like I go on Amazon and I look up like just say it's a blue Sharpie. I have a blue Sharpie from this blah, blah, blah. It's a specific like keyword, but because so many people are searching on Amazon, so many people will want this product. But because there's
Yeah.
not much competition, they'll choose my product because it was such a
Yeah.
rare product.
Yeah.
So like when you like were to look up my product, you'd have to type in like um, magic silicone sack, like all these type of weird words you have to type in. That's the word you
Yeah.
type in to find my product, but
Mhm.
different keywords would come up and things like this. Words that you wouldn't just type in for like dishwashing gloves. Because you
Yeah,
type in dishwashing
exactly.
gloves, like yellow ones come up, like those. You know what I mean? It's so you have
Yeah,
to
and
find like
instantly
a
you're just
I'd buy them
yeah.
for like what? At first, I bought them for like 96, $1.06, and that was with everything included. Like I
Yeah.
redesigned it, I did my own color, I made a new video, I reshot all the images better so that like any other picture of mine was the best. I put like a 5-star like logo on it. I put like, and then mine literally was on the top. But because at the
Nice.
time when I was
Yeah.
first coming out with it, they weren't in high demand really.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like dishwashing gloves that people were just like kind of looking up. But then a pandemic happened, and I was selling like 24 a day. It was insane.
Nice. Yeah. But then you don't have any returns because to make more of the product, it would be a lot. Yeah.
So like what I would do again, I buy them like for like $1, and then I was selling them for at the time 16, and then
Mhm.
16, and then I changed it to like $20, like 19.99, and that's USD, and I would
Right.
make that's all profit I would make.
True.
But I just
Yeah.
straight into my bank account. So
Nice.
I had like quite a bit of units. I had like a few hundred units, and
Yeah.
then I bought more and did the
Mhm.
whole COVID thing, and it was just hell. It was just so like already it's in horrible contacting China because it's on a different time. So you have to be like talking to them at like 3, 4 in the morning because that's when they're up, starting all their businesses and all this stuff, and like with the
Yeah.
manufacturers, all that jazz. And then with COVID, they're shut down. It's just the worst situation. And then
Mhm.
you have to go through all these different things where the packaging now has to be so different because it can't touch things, and it has to be packed in like it's just like hell no, I can't imagine it. It's not worth it anymore.
Yeah. Oh,
And
just
Amazon,
the idea of doing business, I'm like, yeah, I don't have a business mind. I'm like,
it made me a lot of money though.
yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's
Um,
worth it, but it's just
made it
not
paid
worth
off.
continuing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, nice.
paid off where I can like breathe now, and like I'm just like okay, I can like put money back into my business, things like this. And
Yeah, nice, nice. So it worked itself out. Yeah, very good.
it did help, but again, yeah,
No one's continuing.
Amazon.
Yeah, it was I mean, hey, yeah, you're talking to project people, right? I mean, you know,
What
it's that you do something and then you do another thing and you go from there, right? That's even with like jobs I've had in the past. I'll just do a job for like a month or two and then leave and do another job. That's been my lifestyle my entire life, basically. Is I enjoy projects where I just do one thing and then go on to the
jumper?
next.
You're a jumper.
Yeah, I'm a jumper.
I've
Yeah,
I'm kind of
yeah,
not really like I've kind of always known I've just wanted to have my own business always like from
yeah,
the moment I think I told you the story of like when my dad told me about the insurance and I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
that was like the
yeah.
moment where I was like what
Okay, so I can just be my own boss. Nice. Yeah,
he was like you have to get a better job, you have to make more. And I
yeah,
was like, I'm not gonna be like a lawyer or something. I have to go
yeah.
to school and all this stuff. The money doesn't even make sense. Why would I spend all that money and like this?
Yeah. So you find other things. You find the niche. Yeah.
What projects are you guys up to, Eric? You can go. What projects are you been working on?
Currently I'm not really working on much, to be honest. I'm kind of just out of commission, but I just wrapped up a proof of concept called 58 for a feature called 58. So that's being shipped to film festivals and different producers and directors and whatnot. And yeah, next year is its big year. So just
Yeah. Well, I can imagine it's
honestly,
daunting, but like exciting, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean, 58 took the proof of concept took such a huge toll on me, and then it got delayed for 5 months because of COVID. And I just it sounds bad, but I just wanted it to be over with when it was
right, yeah.
come August. I was just like, okay, we were supposed to be shooting this in May or whenever it was, and I was just like, oh my god, like it burned me out.
It's like you start to lose inspiration a little bit.
It was hard to keep the drive. It was hard to keep it going, and then it was more about like just getting it done, and which is not a bad thing. We got the job done. We did it in, like, not to toot my own horn, but we did a pretty amazing job on the film as a whole. So it was it burned me out though. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I can only like imagine that could be super stressful, and like you say, it's like you lose motivation, you lose that drive a little bit, you know, where it's like you just kind of have to like, I'm just doing this to be like done now. But like you mentioned,
But it's like because you owe it to yourself, obviously, right? You started this thing, you came up with this idea, you wrote the script, you got to make it,
it went too far, and we finished like all the pre-production pretty much by the time we were going to shoot before it got like pushed back another 6 months. So it was obviously the point of no return at that point. It was just, it's like, wow, well, we were ready to go, we were ready to shoot, and now wait another 5 months. And
hey, maybe it all happened so that I could be a PA on your short and that we could have this podcast.
It's true. Yeah. A lot of good things actually came out of it being delayed, which is funny. Like a lot of good things.
Love that.
And then, well, so the next big step would be after this proof gets sent around, and if somebody says, I love this thing, like, you know, like your hat right there, Universal's like, we'll give you $10 million to make your project, then you gotta like re-inspire yourself because it's the same idea, but now obviously you expand it into the feature.
Now you have a budget though, so the budget.
Now you got the budget though. Yeah. And obviously this world-ending pandemic isn't starting, hopefully, again. Yeah.
Hey, Joe, did you miss the concept there? 10 mil?
Definitely.
Right. That's the big part.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the motivation. Right. Yeah. Well, it's not like you keep the 10 million, but yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would start it right up as soon as possible. But obviously 58 took a good chunk of money out of my pocket because it was a proof of concept, and we did it in the highest like grade possible, and we got a lot of like bigger name actors on it. So it was like,
yeah.
But I think it'll eventually pay off, hopefully. So
yeah, absolutely, yeah. So and it still exists as its own, like a proof of concept is still a short film. Like you still created this project that you can like use to show what you.
Yeah, proof of concept is literally my other short films. The proof of concept is like I view it as a proof of concept. So I view it as literally a chunk out of a feature. So it's like it definitely has the most production value I've seen in a short, in my experience of going to festivals. So I don't know. I think we'll be back filming soon.
Yeah, nice.
That's really good to hear, because I feel like this quarantine is just like, holy smokes. I don't know how people are like.
Well, we gotta just find a way, you know. We don't know how, but every it's like DNA. Everybody has to find their own way, right? Everyone's different.
That's the thing, I think, and that's I think the hard part is everybody's different. Like
some people are not taking
anyway. I don't like being around people anyway. That's like the whole reason why I started my own business. It's like I hate people. I don't want to be around people. But it's like some people like to be always like, when I was managing restaurants, for instance, the restaurant opens say at 11:30. People are lining up at 11:20, 11:18, 11:15, giving me
just
anxiety.
shaking on the doors.
Going
just hunting you guys down. Yeah.
They want food, they're hungry, they're paying customers. If they weren't here, then I'm not getting a paycheck, all this stuff. But sometimes it's just overwhelming. Do you know what I mean? It's a different situation.
Yeah, I hate that. Just like, no,
just
go
casually.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Versus shaking the doors, being like, let us in, and then as soon as open happens, you open the door. Yeah.
Like 11:01, it's like say you open at 11:01, like checking the watch, or like
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
say
Yeah.
for
Oh
instance
my
like
god.
it's 11:01 and like you from like where you walk to the it's 11:01 now, and
Yeah.
you open the door and it's like, oh, late are we? Saying stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, get out of here! It's 1 minute. Like, what do you mean? Your
Yo,
clock should just be early. Like what? Or ahead?
yeah, yeah. As far as like people being different in this world, man,
That's the thing. People are so different. Where it's like
there
that's
are
not
some
funny.
people that their entire life is just to do shit like that, to be like, oh, are you
Yeah.
late? Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not gonna
Just
say
to be
who, but I'm just gonna say a neighbor that's near me. She will just find reasons to be upset and like try to call you out
Like,
on stuff, or like, oh, you know that you're not allowed to park in there. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm coming and going. Like, I know I'm not supposed to park here. This is temporary. It's just like,
yeah,
well, if you're
she
there
has to
for more than
say it.
20 minutes. Yeah, and it's like, bro, I know. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you just trying to be a shit, you know? Some
She's
people are
gonna
just like
be at
that. And
the
they're like,
window signing.
just, yeah, they're literally watching the window the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, that's the day. That is what they wanted to do with their entire day, was just to do that one interaction. It's like, how long are you waiting at that window, bro? Like, crazy.
They wait. Like it's every neighborhood has one. The lady across the street from my house has one. She does the same thing. So
Oh, no
the lady
kidding.
across the
Yeah.
street from my house, we're not allowed to park on her like in front of her house. No one's allowed to park in front of her house. If you park, like sometimes just random people will just park there, and she'll go put a note on their car. But it's like this
What?
person is just a random
Oh,
Her
person.
own
They're
ticket.
coming back. Like
yeah.
you're just stupid. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like I'm gonna read this on my car, and be like, okay, I'm never coming back here. Like what?
Yeah. Nice.
It's
Well, I
like say
mean,
like your aunt came to visit or something. It's like your aunt doesn't care. She's
yeah,
going
yeah.
to Mississauga and she's not coming
She'll
back for like
never see you again. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
but I can understand if it's like if it's somebody that's like living in the
The
neighborhood. It's just like
reoccurring.
see people.
There's that clear level, right? Where
Yeah,
it's
it's like
like
you're
that person
stupid. Like
is,
you don't
yeah,
own the street. You don't. If you want to pay for this spot, then put a sign there and say that's a sign to pay for.
reserved. Yeah.
You
Oh my
can't
gosh.
just someone put something on my car and say you can't park here just because you think that like no. But that's how
Yeah.
people. Some people just think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, so we want to be sensitive of the time because we did start this in the evening, and I am noting that the time's running a little after 9. But I just want to say thank you so much, Eric, for coming on as a guest. And
Thank you for having me.
as a point to end on, and this is something that I have not done in an extremely long time. Darren, it's probably been like a year since I've even asked you this, so I asked this to both of you. What are some parting words of wisdom that you would give to people? You guys know anything like that? Like, obviously, the live, laugh, love is like the most boring thing that nobody would ever actually say. But
Um, I would honestly be take a risk. Take a risk and like find your wings on the way down, boo. Jump off that damn cliff.
oh wow, yeah, wow, nice,
Find the wings on the way down.
nice.
Eric, that's mine.
I got like few words. Whatever you do, don't overdo. That's all I got.
Nice, very good. Yeah.
All right, I love that. Okay, also too, Eric, I wanted to ask, are you able to come onto the podcast next week by chance?
Yeah, I'm free next week. It depends what day, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll chat it over with Joe. We'll go all that because I want to get Aiden on the podcast because he actually writes screenplays and he's won awards and everything like that. And we can just
Sorry, it cut out a bit.
Aiden, I'm gonna get him on. He is a film writer.
Oh, okay, cool.
And he's won awards and stuff like at the film festival. So it'd be cool to like pick each other's brain. And we can actually maybe do a full like movie / like
yeah, movie themed podcast episode. Yeah,
entertainment industry.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
we
yeah.
actually will call it entertainment industry.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course, by all means.
Sure.
Entertainment industry.
Nice. Oh, so that sounds good. And I think we'll do that. And I want to end on. So this isn't my own original parting words of wisdom, but this is something that I heard recently, where it's just you say, "Take it easy, dude, but take it." Yeah, at first you're like, what the fuck does that mean? But it's like, don't stress about the situations in your life, but you still have to deal with it. So that's my parting words of wisdom. Take it easy, but take it.
Take it easy.
Bite the bullet.
Yeah. But yeah,
It's
and
true.
so
And honestly, I got a little good patch from everybody. Take what you guys take what you can from that. Like, find your wings. Do your thing. have a piece of pie, you know, do your thing. It's all up to you. Have
Yeah.
fun. Action, you know, it is what it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
As long
And
as you're
we'll-
having fun.
Yeah.
Enjoying-
Don't do stuff that you hate, because then you'll just become a grumpy person, and that will be your life. So yeah, you got to try to do what you love. Yeah.
You'll become the lady at the window.
You'll become a lady at the window if you do what you hate. Exactly. So do what you love. God damn it. Yeah. All right. And see you guys next time.
Thanks so
All
much.
right.
guys.
See you.
Bye bye.
Take care.
Bye.